This is Dave Hunt from Hunt Auctions, and he's got some incredible – just look at some of this stuff here. We got a Paul Hornung jersey, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, some signed footballs, some rings. And so one of the great things about Super Bowl week is you guys raise a lot of money through these charities. Where does this all go, first, the money that these bids will go to?
Yeah, we're just happy to be here. First of all, this year, literally. It's a great program that NFL Auction has started decades ago at this point. We're blessed to have been partners with them for almost 15 years now, just an amazing run. And our goal initially was to, they bring the best of the modern game. The items right off the players' backs, the balls right off the field, and we try to bring the best of the vintage game. Put those together, and the modern items, the proceeds go to NFL Auction charities, and even a portion of the vintage items consigned by families and different collectors and things that have also go to NFL Auction charities. So you've got the best of all worlds, really. You get these incredible world-class football items, unparalleled in anywhere, any other football venue, and you do some good as well.
All right, so we're going to play Guess the Price. So you tell us about the article, and then Chris and I are going to give it our best shot.
What's the prize? That's the question. Is it the item itself?
Never
mind.
Let's
keep going. Let's keep it. So obviously we'll start with the star. The star of the show this particular year is Paul Hornung's jersey. In and of itself, any Paul Hornung jersey would be significant and very valuable. This one's a little bit different, a little bit more special. It was actually given to his godson originally, and it was worn by Paul Hornung in Super Bowl I. Now, before everybody goes on Twitter, he did not play in Super Bowl I. It was the one game he was injured, couldn't play, but he wore it. He's pictured on the sidelines, and how do we know that? Because back then, they did not just wear 2 or 3 jerseys a game. They wore these jerseys over and over and over again. They would restitch them. So this has actually been photo matched to Super Bowl I on the sidelines, the NFC Championship game that year, and even previous games before that. So just an incredible piece of history. So there's your – what's the estimate? What do you think?
I'm going to start. Chris, you give the
Who's going to start?
For the Golden Boys jersey, I'm going to say $20,000.
Now, does this –
No phones allowed, by the way.
I did not look.
Left my phone
now,
behind.
he can't go $20,000 and $1, can
There
he?
we go.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
I've played Let's Make a Deal at home before.
Right.
All right, now, does this go up in value in a year where we lost him?
No, Paul Hornung's legacy is obviously ingrained within the game of football, and this is just so much more elevated, I suppose, because it was worn in that inaugural Super Bowl. It just adds a lot of history to it.
Jack Stalling.
40,000.
All right.
Wow, I said $20,000.
We got a winner right over here.
Wow, he makes more money than I do, so that's where he rolls.
It's already actually at 50. The estimate's 50 to 100,000. It's already at 55,000 now, and we're 5 days away from the auction.
So if people want to bid on these, how do they do that?
Yeah, if you go to huntauctions.com or the NFLauction.com link. Obviously, we can't have a live auction this year because of COVID, but the items are on display live at the NFL Experience, Super Bowl Experience. But you can go to see all these items online and bid as well.
What was Chris's guess again there? What was Chris's guess?
$20,000.
20 grand.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll have that ready to go in case you guys are off base that much again here. Ready to go with the sound effects.
I don't have any GameStop stock that I could blow right now.
Thanks for playing, Chris.
Thank you.
We've got a nice parting gift on the side.
All right, since Chris is from Indy, let's talk about Peyton Manning.
Yeah, incredible jersey as well. Now we're going to go more modern. This was a late addition to the sale, which we sort of have each year because people know we're doing this. This is not only a Peyton Manning game-worn jersey, but it was worn to throw his 70,000th yard pass, which at the time, there's, I guess, 3 players that have done it or 4, but inscribed and used, and again, photo matched that game. Just an amazing piece of history, and obviously Peyton, one of the most legendary quarterbacks in NFL history, but one of the most popular also, just an iconic figure. So here we go.
Right. No pressure, Chris. No pressure being from Indy.
I'm going to say people started collecting these things long after Hornung, so maybe not as rare. I'm going to stick in the same ballpark. I'm going to say $25,000 for Peyton Manning's jersey.
All right, I'm going lower, and I'm going to go 18,000.
Now, did you do some research on this?
Fitting.
I did not.
I said 25. Let's see.
Right.
No phones again. I'm just making sure.
Okay.
The estimate is 40 to 60,000. So you're both. Well, I guess technically,
I won. Thank
Chris
you.
won.
Technically.
It is currently actually at 18,000 now. So we'll let you guys decide that. But a great jersey nonetheless.
All right, let's Drew Brees. This could be his last year in the National Football League.
It could, and this is going to be interesting from a speculation standpoint because if it is, this is going to be one of the last jerseys he wore. This was from this season, again, right from NFL Auction. What more can you say about Drew as a player, as a wonderful human being and does a lot of charitable work. Just a great piece.
All right, quick question.
Yes.
Like, did this come from Peyton Manning? Does Peyton Manning have the ability to keep that jersey on a day that he throws for the 70,000th yard, or does the NFL take it from him?
No, every situation's a bit different. Some of these go right to the NFL auction program. Some go to the players. Some go to collectors. Some go to a team where they're switching jerseys with other players. So it's a little bit different for each particular item.
All right, so I'm going to steal Chris's thunder and go $23,000 for Drew Brees.
What was the significance of that game? Did he wear it in a particular game?
Nothing significant about the game, but during this final, what could be his final
Okay.
season,
I'm going to go $30,000. Final bid.
Don't you wish
I
we
like the
just had this
aggressiveness of
money?
that particular one.
I want to sound confident even when I'm wrong.
The estimate is $20,000 to $30,000.
Thank you. I'm right there. I'm
so
right
we go
there.
right over here.
That's right in the middle of it.
Yeah, right here. This one might throw you a little bit. So this is a no pun intended there, but like this is one of the things again from NFL Auctions program. This is a ball used in a Super Bowl, in the 50th Super Bowl, however. So really, again, to find these unique pieces, they are collectibles, they are memorabilia, but they're really part of history, especially if one of your particular teams was in one of these games. One year, one of the things I remember most vividly about some of the things they've given us, in that Saints Super Bowl win, the onside kickoff ball NFL auction gave us. I just thought that was you think about, you want to talk about a unique
Don't tell
piece.
Colts fans that. Colts fans
Yeah,
don't
right.
want to hear about the onside
That
kickball.
just changed the entire trajectory of that game. So again, here we have a ball used in Super Bowl 50. Who wants to guess first? Chris?
I'm going to go game used Super Bowl ball, $50,000 because it was Super Bowl 50.
Go 12,000.
We're going to go over here.
Okay.
I'm not good at this game.
About 2,000 to 4,000.
Okay.
2,000 to 4,000. Hey, we hope you're both.
I would have got fleeced on that deal.
Yes, you would've.
Nick, can you zoom in here on Chris's face just so I can? I have the button ready. There it is. No, sorry. Good guess, Chris.
Thanks.
I do want to thank the NFL for actually putting 50 on there
Instead of the Roman
numerals.
Which was?
We're just getting past. I don't know.
L.
A big L
Just an L.
for.
Yeah, they didn't want to go L for loser like me, so it was just they went 50 on that one.
Yeah, Super Bowl doesn't have the same ring to it. It's just a little weird on the iconography.
Maybe a ring. Let's switch it up a little bit. 1958, Baltimore Colts. Greatest game ever played. George Shaw, player on the team.
Okay.
Just for accuracy, if you note on the front, there's a little bit of a gold plate in the front. There was a diamond in there that 1 point years ago was removed. So it's obviously his original ring, but just has a little bit of restoration. Want to make sure all the game participants have all the information they need.
Okay. For a ring that it's missing the diamond.
Technically, yes.
7,000.
$11 million. I'll go $5,000. That's my final bid.
That's tight. 7,000 to 10,000.
Ooh.
I think he makes up the
7,000 to
number, so
10,000.
Jack wins.
Applause button for
Cahoots.
Jack.
We had an agreement before this segment.
Hey, whatever Red says over there, just tell them I won. So I understand how it is.
Interesting.
Right. This looks like a really old football.
Yeah, back to the vintage items. Really unique piece. And again, was given by Paul Hornung to his godson. Actually signed on a side panel here from Paul to him. And the autograph adds a little value just for the history, but just a vintage football from that period, from the 60s, would be valuable in and of itself, in the hundreds. This is a ball attributed to have been used in the inaugural Super Bowl in 1967. So I think there's about 3 or 4 known. There's 2 in the Hall of Fame that we can tell. Just a really, really cool and unique piece.
Now that ball, and we were talking about Tom Brady. Does that ball look a little deflated to you there? Oh, I could not resist.
Slinger.
Couldn't resist.
There's always one. There's always one.
I'm going $75,000 from the autograph, because of the autograph and because of the potential it was used in Super Bowl I. $75,000.
First thing I want to say is I wish I was Paul Hornung's grandson or godson,
Godson,
because he really treated him well. But I'll say 60,000.
This one's really tough. I mean, we don't know. The estimate's 25 to 50,000. So we'll give you a tie on that one. But really hard to predict because it's just such a unique piece. There's really not a lot of precedent to what it's worth.
And it's just amazing that.
Don't touch it.
How do you guys come up with the prices? Is it just supply market demand?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, some of these things we have market comps, really. So you've sold things or you see things in the market that have brought certain prices. But when you get a really unique or historic item, especially some of the vintage items, it's very difficult. There is not always a lot of precedent for it. I mean, several years ago we had Rudy Rudiger's helmet and jersey that he wore when he was being carried off the field at Notre Dame. So, not a professional piece, but the movie and the iconic nature of that, we didn't know what's estimated. I ended up bringing almost $250,000 for the pair. So.
Wow.
You could have said that was $10,000. You could have said it was $1 million. It's what the market will bear. It's what somebody will pay for.
Dave, I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question here. What player comes to mind? The first player that comes to mind that drives up the value of an item? Is it a Tom Brady, a Steve Young, a Jerry Rice? Like one name that immediately maybe adds like $5-10 to a particular item.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
That's easy.
Yeah.
He's really cemented himself as not just an incredible player in the legacy of the game, but also very intelligent of the way he carries himself, the way he promotes charitable entities and does things the right way, not just playing, and that also translates into popularity, people, and collectability, if you will, of his items. So as time goes by, and I think his legacy is appreciated certainly long after he plays, that'll be interesting to see how that continues to trend, much like other athletes on that level, like a Michael Jordan or somebody on that par.
Now, I don't want to brag on myself, but in 6th grade, I was a touchdown scoring machine. I happen to still have the game-worn jersey. What are we thinking? What's the estimate? What would that pull in? I'll even sign it if you want me to.
Oh, really?
Are we playing the game? You turn the tables.
How much would I have to pay you to take that jersey off my hands?
There we go.
Because I'll do that, too, just to have it in the mix.
Look, I guess they always say the value is in the eye of the beholder. We'll twist that around. I mean, what we've always say to people who call in is have fun with this. If values are important, obviously we like to raise money for charity and do well for the consigners as well, but buy what you love. Collect and keep what you love, and that really applies across all avenues. Yeah, but if you're going to force me, I got a couple $100.
Yes,
there it is.
That'll be out of your pocket shortly.
Right.
Last question I have for you, Dave, is what's the item that's brought the most in all the auctions you guys have done?
This is our 31st year doing this, and we've been blessed to work with a lot of players, their families, and Babe Ruth. We quite literally worked with Babe Ruth's family almost 2 years ago now. And we had the auction at Yankee Stadium, and there was a Ruth uniform, a Ruth jersey that was from 1928 to 30 that was consigned to us and brought $5.64 million,
Whoa.
which to date is the highest amount price paid for any American sports artifact, card, memorabilia piece ever. So we're not only proud of that, but that was fun. To be able to be on Yankee Stadium, we walked down home plate and did a photograph with Babe Ruth's grandchildren by home plate with that jersey. That's going to be tough to top. I don't know how I'm going to top
Dave,
that.
how do you spell Babe Ruth here? I just want to see. I don't know how much I can get for this mug, this travel mug here, but that's as a big Yankee fan, that is incredibly cool to hear.
Yeah, it was fun, once in a lifetime thing. Yeah.
I've only seen pictures of those things, but was that like just full on wool?
Yeah, they're heavy wool, and in fact, you see the sleeves are always sort of choppy and cut off because they were long sleeve. And playing St. Louis in August in a long sleeve wool uniform, and see what you're going to do about July, or I'm saying September, you're going to cut sleeves off. So yeah, really, really special piece. It was, and to do it right there in Yankee Stadium, with the history surrounding it and his family involved, it was an honor for sure.
Dave Hunt from Hunt Auctions, always great to see the stuff you bring each year. Is just as a sports fan, just awesome to see and just look at. And I wish I could make some really good bids.
Yeah, thanks. I can't say it enough. I think the NFL has done a really incredible job. I know everybody's sort of saying it, but to be able to pull this event off here in the midst of COVID and give us all a little bit of hope in a tough year, they've been great and safe, and we're thrilled to be here.
Big round of applause for Dave Hunt and NFL Auctions and Hunt Auctions joining us here. I think this is the 3rd year in a row, you guys, on Big Game Bound.